Hello and welcome back to Exothermic Plays Games. This is a video that's an update for the folks in my Patreon or people that give a shit about my Patreon community ranking project. So the idea with the project is that if you join my Patreon for any amount of money, you can submit your own ranking of up to 366 games, as these people have done. And then I work it into a database that has a whole bunch of information, and basically each of the games that you rank are assigned points based on its ranking. So your number one favorite game is going to be worth 10 points. Whatever you put in last place, which again, it should all be games that you like, so it's not like the worst game. It's just the game on your list that is the least favorite you have amongst those is going to be worth 1 point, and then it scales based on how many games you ranked to assign a score. So, and then it adds it all together, and then we have this sum here, this total. So I did an inaugural ranking back in, was that in November, I think? Sometime in the fall. And now I have my first update. I have more people that have submitted lists, people that submitted lists before updated them with new games or changing things around. But yeah, here we are. So I just want to go over some stuff. I'm going to talk about kind of the first 50 just real quick. And then I do want to highlight, it's like color-coded percentage of changes. And then stuff that's new is in blue over on the right side here. So here, we're going to actually zoom in a bit. Yeah, that looks good. So here we go. So the new number one is Elden Ring. That has displaced Hades. They just kind of swapped spots. As you can see, before, Hades didn't have, we only had, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we had through this column, including column H in the first rankings, and now we have through column L. So before, Hades, everyone had played it, and now there's one person, it looks like, that did not, or somehow didn't like it enough, which is, I assume they didn't play it. Where Elden Ring was kind of the other way. So they're real close, but there we go. Disco Elysium, average score is a little higher, actually, than Hades and Elden Ring, but we have two people that did not play them. So, like, this is a second place. I think this is also a second place. I think 9.96 is second. So, yeah, there's a bunch of people that love Disco Elysium. Same with Hollow Knight, Outer Wilds. I do want to mention Disco Elysium jumped up 2 spots. Hollow Knight jumped up 4 spots. Outer Wilds jumped up 18 spots, so that's exciting for that. I think part of that was, I think that this first ranking here, I had a typo in it and it didn't count. Oopsie. So that's, some of these are I fixed issues from the first time around, but so some of the jumps are because they weren't correctly getting points the first time, but a lot of it is because just the other people ranked it and it went up. So original Portal went down 2 spots. This is on a whole bunch of people's rankings. 3.61 on here. I can't believe that. Chrono Trigger. I mean, these are terrific JRPGs that I have still not actually played in their entirety, which is why I have not ranked them yet. You can expect that to happen. Especially, I'm going to try to get Chrono Trigger out sometime this year. But that jumped a bunch of spots from 51 to number 7. It's the new 44. By the way, all of this is going to be linked in the description of this video, so if you just want to comb through the whole ranking, there's, what is it, like 1,500 items on here? There's a lot of games. So, Dark Souls dropped a little bit, dropped 5 spots. Portal 2, the new number 9, jumped up 26 spots. Which it does have, I think, a higher average ranking than Portal 1, but obviously Portal 1 is only missing from the one person's list. Super Mario Bros. 3 jumped up 55 spots to become the new number 10. Good for that. Final Fantasy 6 jumped up a little bit. Celeste. I was going to do the top 50. We're just going to kind of run it. So, Celeste. The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening is the highest ranked Zelda game, which is, I think, pretty interesting. I think of it as being good. I haven't really played it, thus I haven't ranked it, but I don't think of it as being like... I don't think of it as being like the end-all be-all Zelda, right? But then Ocarina of Time, it has a higher average ranking, but a little worse overall score. Then Fallout New Vegas. Then number 16 is Super Smash Bros. Melee, dropped a few spots. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild dropped a few spots. Final Fantasy IX is the second highest ranked Final Fantasy. It's my favorite Final Fantasy. It's my second favorite game of all time. You can hear all of my thoughts on Final Fantasy IX if you go watch that video. One of the great things about making 366 videos talking about why I like different games in a single year is I don't need to talk about them a whole bunch. I can just send people the video. So if you want to hear why I love Final Fantasy IX, go watch that. Number 19 is Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. Number 20 is Pokemon Red and Blue, the highest ranked Pokemon game on here. By no means is it I believe the highest average rating Pokemon game. It's just the one that everybody has played. So that is a thing about this ranking, is you do get a little bit of popularity contest stuff like that. But overall, we see a lot of interesting things. Number 21 is Skyrim. Number 22 is Super Mario 64. Is that the highest ranked? No, Super Mario Bros. 3 was the highest ranked Mario. Skyrim's the highest ranked. Elder Scrolls. 23, XCOM Enemy Unknown. Dropped a few spots. This game is doing real well with this group. Metroid Prime jumped 25 spots to become the new number 24. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic did drop from number 6 down. There's a couple of people that didn't rank it, and a couple of the new people, well, actually the two new people that did rank it didn't rank it great, but hey, they did rank it. So number 26 is Silent Hill 2, the original one, not the remake. That jumped up 53 spots, so good for that. Number 27 is Balatro, which I just released a video for on Thursday last week. So if you want to hear my thoughts on Balatro, you can go check that out. Number 28 is StarCraft, which is also encapsulating StarCraft Brood War. So that jumped 70 spots, which is great. There was not a ton of representation on it before, and we got a lot more, and obviously that game is an all-timer and phenomenal and timeless. Doom 1993, so the original Doom jumped up 63 spots to become the new number 29. Mass Effect 3 jumped up 50 slots to become the new number 80. One thing I noticed, and you'll see this if you go through everything here, is that in the first ranking of everything, I think it was Mass Effect, then Mass Effect 2, then Mass Effect 3 in order. It might have been 2, 1, 3, but now it's like flipped. So we'll see that. That's fun. So it used to be number 80, now is number 30. Tetris jumped 111 spots, and that is because this person put it as their favorite game of all time, and then these people put it really high up in the 9s. So yeah, it got a lot more love this time around. One of the things I love about doing this update is seeing trends even out and seeing like clusters of information that have huge impacts on stuff. It's really exciting to me, and that's why I'm looking forward to going over just the biggest changes after we get to the 50. So number 32 is The Witness, jumped 107 spots. Really good for The Witness. Final Fantasy V went up a single spot. It's almost the same. The other thing I really like, I really like in these updates, like when I updated my own list and also this, is when there is no change. Like, a bunch of numbers change, but the end ranking is the same. So Super Mario 64 was 22, is 22. I love when we're consistent. Alright, Halo Combat Evolved went down 7 spots. Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker went down 19 spots. Into the Breach is the new number 36, jumped 57 spots. Stardew Valley is the new number 37, dropped off a bit. The new folks that got added weren't quite as high on it as some of the others the original crew, if you will. So it did drop 26 spots, but it's still very respectable. Baldur's Gate 3 jumped 103 spots. So I do want to mention Balatro is the highest ranked 2024 game on here. Which, I mean, lots of people played Balatro. It's very, very, very good. Baldur's Gate 3 is the highest ranked 2023 game on here. I do suspect that some of this is people just hadn't really played it that much yet, or at least gotten a full thought on it at the time that we did the first ranking. Just it hadn't been out, I mean, it had been out for a little while, but sometimes, especially with games that large, it takes a while, right? Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion dropped down some, which I mean, you could look at my rankings. I would certainly at least flip Oblivion and Skyrim, but it is what it is. Katamari Damacy jumped up 57 spots. Good for that little guy. Batman Arkham Asylum moved up 1 spot, so almost the same. This is the highest ranked Arkham game, so good for that. Final Fantasy VII went down 3 spots. It is surprising to me some of the people that didn't rank this. So Dwarf Fortress stayed the same. Look at that. Did not move. Again, I love when that happens. So number 44, Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo, moved up 40 spots. That game's great. Good for it. Final Fantasy IV went down 7 spots. Number 46, Warcraft 3 Classic RTS jumped up 44 spots as we get more RTS love throughout this list. I love to see it. Mario Kart 8 jumped up 10 spots. And this is actually so some of the things that people submit are like minute differences to kind of the same thing, and I will just consolidate them for the point of not splitting the points. So some people actually put Mario Kart 8. Some people put Mario Kart 8 Super Deluxe, which is like the same but with more stuff. Obviously Super Deluxe is better, but I just for the sake of simplicity, I just consolidated all of that into Mario Kart 8. Now with the Switch 2 announcement, it looks like we'll be getting Mario Kart 9, so I'm excited to see what happens with that. If you, like, I've talked about before, if they bring back the double racing that was in, like, Double Dash, where you can have, like, a person on the back also doing stuff and, like, punching people, and you can, like, try to fight the other passengers and stuff on the other carts. If they bring that back, it's a day one purchase for me, Mario Kart 9, but I'm not holding my breath. Let me know if you're looking forward to Mario Kart 9, I guess. Number 48, the new number 48 is Mass Effect 1. So yeah, so this was ranked the highest. And then, yeah, so it was, I think it was, whatever, we'll see. Number 49 is Minecraft, dropped a little bit. And then the new number 50 is Final Fantasy VII Remake, gained 5 spots. So I'm not going to spend too much time doing everything here. So we are just gonna, let's see here, let's scroll for some big changes. Oh yeah, The Legend of Zelda A Link to the Past was previously only on 1 ranking, which is wild to me. I know a lot of people that would say this is the quintessential Zelda game. This is Zelda in its purest and best form. I still haven't really dug through the game, so I haven't ranked it. I don't have a strong opinion, but the idea that it was only on one of the first 5 lists is crazy. Obviously, almost all of the, no, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, all of the new people ranked it. 2 of them ranked it real high. And it's funny how, like, this is right next to each other. And this is, like, right next to each other. So, like, these people seem to have, and it's, obviously, you don't know all of the data. I have all the data, and I know who the people are. So it's funny how like these 2 people have some strong overlap in their lists. Like this person, this is actually in the order in which I integrated them initially into the ranking. So this person's first, second, third, fourth, so on. So this person had a bunch of games that nobody else had ranked, and then this person had a bunch of games that would have been a bunch of games that nobody else ranked that wound up being on this person's list. So it's really funny to me to see how these are similar, and then in kind of the same vein, although this person didn't have as many games on their list, these were also, for the games that this person did have, these were similar. It's crazy. So anyways, gained 294 spots. UFO 50, mwah, chef's kiss. I will be covering UFO 50 later this year for sure. I have a grand old plan for covering that game. I suspect that this will retroactively be my game of the year for 2024. I suspect that this could be my game of the decade. I am so looking forward to UFO 50. If you haven't seen what this is, it's an indie game that is basically, you take it's a fictional game studio in like the NES era of time, and they made a fictional console. And so the idea is that this is 50 games from throughout that console's lifespan that sort of showcase the evolution of game design for that console, but they're able to take retro mechanics but apply modern game design to it. And so many of the games appear to be really great, and it is a trip and a half, and there's just tons. And these aren't like, oh, it's 50 mini games. No, they released 50 whole ass games under one game, and there's a crew of people that did the designs for across them, and it's like this amazing indie all-star cast, and they're amazing. Obviously, originally, just not everybody had played it yet. It was really new. It had been out for, I don't know, what, couple of months when I did the first Patreon ranking. So I think it was only on one person's list, and now it's on more. And I can tell you that like this person in the first column didn't do an update yet, and they'll be doing one for the next one in theory. And they freaking love this game. That's probably a top 10 for them, I would imagine. So we're gonna see UFO 50 continue to climb. I have a big plan for covering it. That'll be a busy time for me, and I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, UFO 50, you gotta check it out. Let's see here. 106 spots, Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Mega Man X gained 451 spots. Super Mario Odyssey gained 174 spots. Vampire Survivors gained 100 spots. Here we go, the highest ranked new game on the list. That this is another 2024 game. The Rise of the Golden Idol. This is the sequel to The Case of the Golden Idol. They are basically like mystery puzzle games, and they seem really neat. I haven't played them, but I definitely want to. And so this is the highest ranked game that was not on the list before but is now. This also came out pretty late in 2024, so that makes a lot of sense that it hadn't been on there yet. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure it was out when the first ranking released. I could be wrong, but I don't think it was, or it was like brand new. So yeah, good for Rise of the Golden Idol. I hope to see that game kind of float up some more too, because they seem really cool. Mario Kart 64 jumped 231 spots, which that makes sense given the age of the new people that I know, so they probably have a lot of nostalgia for it. They're right in that pocket. So Rock Band, original Rock Band, jumped 235 spots. Let's see here. Now we're starting to get into some more mixed bag. So Star Fox 64 jumped 108 spots. Gone Home, great, beautiful story, wonderful game, jumped 99 spots. Path of Exile dropped 81 spots. So I will say that, like, I've had people asking me, hey, you gonna play Path of Exile 2? You gonna check it out? And I probably will eventually. I'm probably gonna wait until it's out of early access, though, to be honest. I tried Path of Exile, the first one, and because like people were raving about it, and it seemed cool, and in concept it very much is cool. Like, people are like, this is better Diablo than Diablo, and I'm like, ooh, sign me up. And so I get in there, I level up for the first time, or whatever it is, you get your first talent points, and I look at the talent tree, and I immediately was like, nope, I'm out. If you haven't looked at the talent tree for Path of Exile, it's It's enormous. And I just didn't want to spend the time to read that all and learn it. That's not why I was there. I was looking for a quick adventure, get in, get out, and that's not that game. So we'll see if over the course of early access of Path of Exile 2 streamlines some of that. I'm hoping it does. I'm guessing it won't, but we'll see. All right, jump 206 spots. Cuphead. So I have a funny story about Cuphead. I have a younger brother he is now, I can do math. He is now 8 years old. He'll be turning 9 this year. And he got Cuphead when he was 6. He got Cuphead on his Switch. And he fell in love with the game, and this was amazing because Cuphead is hard, right? You die a lot in Cuphead. You lose a lot in Cuphead. It's challenging, and like that's part of the charm is like you learn the tricks of these bosses and you do these difficult things. And he beat Cuphead, and he had a great time with it. And like so I had never played Cuphead, but I've played other games like it. And I was over there, and he was like, hey, will you play Cuphead with me? And I started playing, and I'm like fighting for my life, barely clinging on. And he is jumping around, dancing. He is spinning in circles, not looking at the screen half the time, and he is beating this boss. It's, oh my god, how is a 6-year-old better at this game than me? But there we are, Cuphead. StarCraft 2. Jumped 401 spots. This is my #1 favorite game of all time. I talked about it extensively, and I will continue talking about it throughout probably the entire lifetime of this channel. I would imagine. Every once in a while, I'll put up some StarCraft content. Like for example, I put up a ladder game the other day. There'll be more. It'll just be kind of sprinkled throughout. I'm not looking to be a StarCraft channel, but if you like StarCraft, this is probably a good place to be. So, yep, StarCraft 2 jumped a bunch of spots. God bless these people giving it the 9s. 443, Dota 2. Hey, shocking. People that like StarCraft 2 like Dota 2. Who would have guessed? Alright, Dark Souls 3 jumped a bunch. Ooh, what was Fire Emblem 3 Houses dropped a lot. That's because nobody else ranked it. Nobody knew. That's crazy. We got a bunch of love for Fire Emblem over here and then nothing. Alright, Super Metroid jumped a ton. Guitar Hero. Alright, so yeah. Fallout 2, Dead Cells. You could pick through this stuff. Hey, Metaphor ReFantasio is very pretty, and I intend to check it out eventually. That's another 2024 game. Inscription seems really cool. Tunic, great game. Alright, okay, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Let's zoom back out a little bit so we can find some of these big losses. Let's see here. Aha, here we go. Alright, so like Dragon Age Origins dropped a ton. Pokemon Sword and Shield dropped a ton. Castle Crashers dropped a ton. These people need to play some Castle Crashers. Oh my god. Let's see here. Castlevania Bloodlines. We're starting to get, like, we're in the 400s now. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that dropped just by nature of people didn't rank it. Like, when you just add more, like, Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn was 259 with a 9.96 off of one person, right? So, but then nobody else ranked it, so it just didn't gain any points. Oh yeah. This is the thing I want to mention. So the first list, we had a couple of games that were 10s for people, but on nobody else's list. So they were just right here. But now we don't have that. That's gone. One of them I remember was Final Fantasy 11. We'll get there. Yeah, that gained 59 spots. We got another high ranking. Look at that. Sick. Alright, let's go way down to see the biggest drops. Biggest. Things dropping 200 spots. But that's all, again, it's just nobody else ranked it. So I do want to grab... Here we go. Here's an orange. So Sin and Punishment. Lots of new stuff that are just, you know, they weren't ranked before, but they didn't rank super highly as we get down here. Let's see here. Dragon Age Inquisition, Soul Calibur. Oops. Here's the big one. So this is interesting because, so the Punisher, it dropped a bunch, but you'll notice, remember, column H was our cutoff before. If it was I, J, K, or L, that meant it wasn't in the original ranking. So this means that somebody had it on here and then updated their list and then removed it, but another person added it on. So that's why this dropped so many spots. And we just added a bunch of new games, right? Like, and then, yeah. And here we go. I do want to highlight these. These are some other games that were on the list previously that, due to re-rankings, no longer are. So people dropped these from their lists. A couple of them where I think someone didn't fully understand stuff and they thought that having stuff low would tank the score. So I think that's where Call of Duty Black Ops was from. But then they understood and they removed it. But yeah, there's a lot to look at here. I just wanted to give an update about it. It's, you know, it's a fun thing for me. It's a fun thing for people to pour through. I think it's a pretty fun and interesting project. I love looking through everybody's lists, finding things that people like. No Man's Sky jumped a ton. See, and this is, you know, we'll say that this is a little self-serving, right? Like, there's games I didn't know about that I learned about from this. Let's see here, the big one last time, the Return of the Obra. Yeah, Return of the Obra Dinn was ranked number 9 before, but then it just wasn't on the new people's lists. So I still like really got to play this game. It looks super sick. This is a good way for me to I have selfish reasons for this, even though it's a ton of work to keep up with and integrate and do all this analysis. But it's a good way for me to get a feel for, hey, what are things I really should be covering? And yeah, I've got some ideas here. I got to play Outer Wilds, man. All right, so that is me. I wanted to give this, you can check out the full list in the description below. If you are a member of my Patreon, thank you so much. You were amazing. You are the reason that well, I won't say the reason I'm doing this in total, because I started it without you, but one of the reasons I'm continuing to do it. But you are the reason that I will be able to, in theory, keep doing this for a very long time. Being able to, because now I'm having to get new games, and well, that costs money. And I am able to funnel it back into the channel and use that to buy new games, use it to buy new equipment, upgrade stuff. So it is all very helpful. I love you. I appreciate you so much. And if you are not part of the Patreon and would like to get your ranking in here, you can certainly do that. You can find a link to the Patreon in the description below, along with the link to this spreadsheet, and also to my Discord, where we've got a great group of people that love to hang out and talk about these games. So it's a growing community, and I think it's been moving in the right direction. But that's me for today. Thank you. Goodbye.